You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast, and this is show number 206 for the 22nd of April 2018.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelleand Jayne, and together with my good friend Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, Janie.
Hello there, Michelle, and how are you, my darling?
I'm doing okay. How's things with you down there in Derbylicious land?
Well, I'm kind of enjoying this yellow thing that's been in the sky the last couple of days. It's a bit of a bizarre concept in the UK in April, but we have actually had some sunshine, and I'm a little bit sunstroke, I think.
I know, it's very bizarre. We've gone from snow to sun in the sort of space of a few days.
Well, I couldn't believe it when at work we suddenly thought, oh, we better get some sun cream on the kids, hadn't we, really? It was like, have we got any? Oh, yes, we have, thank goodness for that. So it kind of took us all a bit by surprise, because I know the weathermen were forecasting it, but come on, who believes the weathermen?
Not me.
No.
I'm healing slowly.
Good.
Had all the stitches out. I know I discussed this and talked to our Patreon supporters, so they're in the know, but our other listeners won't really know what I'm on about, but basically I had some surgery, a couple of weeks ago now, and basically I'm stitched up from elbow to elbow, having had some lumps removed and then sort of reconstructive skin surgery to make both arms look beautiful again, which is the downside, obviously, of the massive weight loss I've had, and had a few other little bits and pieces done just to make myself feel happier about myself, really.
Yeah, but all going good, isn't it now?
It is. I'm slowly getting there, slowly recovering, and I'm feeling about 75% effective.
Well, if you're 75% effective, Michelle, that in most people's books, that's probably close to 110%. So you're doing all right, missus.
Oh, I try my best, love. I try my best. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a busy old April for me, but, you know, that's how it goes. But before we crack on with the show, let's hear from our lovely Kieran and have some Kieran facts.
Hey guys, welcome to this day on Disney history. Let's get started, guys, come on, yay! On this day in Disney history, on the 22nd of April 1970, it was the very first Earth Day. Also, on this day in 1971, Kelly Coffey was born. Kelly? Who I hear you say? Well, she was the vocal talent behind We Go On and The Promise from the spectacular nightly Illuminations fireworks show at Epcot. Moving now to 1998, and Animal Kingdom opened. Originally only Africa and Dinoland USA opened on this day, as Asia opened in 1999. To celebrate, and because of the long lines, the park opened amazingly early at 6 o'clock and was at capacity 75 minutes later. The park was blessed by Dr. Jane Goodall's presence. Jane is considered as the world's leading expert on chimpanzees. So today, Animal Kingdom is 20 years young. On the 23rd of April 1996, sadly, Palmer Lyndon Travers died at the age of 96. This feisty Australian was the author behind the much-loved Mary Poppins books. Now moving on to the 26th of April 1997, and King Stephen's Banquet Hall is renamed to Cinderella's Round Table. Curiously, King Stephen is not related to Cindy, but is in fact Sleeping Buddy. Have you got a sleeping buddy? Because I don't. Is in fact Sleeping Beauty's father. So that is all. And surprisingly this time, she hasn't even bothered to give me a Snow White fact or link. A few weeks ago, artist Jack White released an album. That's the same last name as Snow White. There you go. So yeah, that was today's fact thingy. Bye bye. You know, I just like doing these awkward openings and closings because it's a test I do because to see if she'll actually keep it in. I hope she keeps these in. I'm praying that she does, because it'll make some funny lines. Lol. What am I doing?
Okay, so as we release the show today, it is Animal Kingdom's birthday. Happy birthday, Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I hadn't realised 20, isn't it? Crikey, Bob.
Time flies when you're having fun. And I don't know if you've seen this, because it's only just literally come out and been released, is they've had the first showing of Up, A Great Bird Adventure.
Oh, no, I haven't, no.
This replaces Flights of Wonder.
Ah, of course, yes.
Now, I was very lucky. I was able to get the full video, thanks to our good friends over at WDW News today. And I sat back and enjoyed the 33-minute video. And I just thought I'd share a few thoughts.
Okay.
Having watched it, and firstly, I can say it definitely fits in with the Indian surroundings, which is great. It starts with a caretaker on the stage, and the set basically looks the same as what it was before for Flights of Wonder.
Right.
And she's basically the caretaker telling the story of how the place came to be, and she's literally wearing this beautiful traditional Indian outfit, like a sari. And her skirt is a beautiful peacock-inspired pattern. Beautiful. And she's there wafting the skirt about and everything, which is lovely. And she invites Russell and Doug to the stage. And at this point, it's like, let's shoehorn an IP onto a great show. Because they've invited Russell and Doug. I don't know if you've noticed, Jane, but Russell and Doug, neither of which are a bird.
I had noticed that aspect, yes.
Now, I was excited thinking, oh, great, this linking it to Up. Who did you expect to be on the Up-themed bird show?
A bird of some description?
I expected Kevin.
Well, yeah.
Is there any Kevin in this?
I'm guessing from the tone of your voice, Michelle, possibly no.
No. So it just basically seems like they've shoehorned an IP, namely Up, to this to entice people to go and see it. And it is lovely to see Russell and Doug, but really it just feels a bit cringeworthy.
Right. I take it there is some birds in it somewhere.
Oh gosh, yeah, there's loads of birds, the whole same sort of thing as before. I just feel it doesn't work for me. It left me lacking.
It's a case of taking the old bird show but putting a bit different storyline over the top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, not one for me, but I'll check it out in person if I've got half an hour or so spare when I visit Animal Kingdom later on in the year.
I suppose it's half an hour for sit down, isn't it?
Unfortunately in the full sun, but hey ho.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to say a big hello and thank you to our fellow UK buddy, Gemma Butterfield. Thank you so much, my lovely, for leaving us an iTunes review. Very much appreciated, and such kind words as well. We are so grateful, thank you. And let's move on with some more news. And the biggest piece of news I really want to discuss at the moment, Jane, is how long would you queue for the Disneyland pineapple donut?
Personally, I wouldn't, but I'm guessing some people are queuing an inordinate amount of time.
Yeah, looking like the queue's about 20 to 30 minutes.
Oh, words fail me, really.
I know. Now, we don't know how long this donut is going to be shared for in the parks. I have read a fair few people's reviews on them. I've asked people who've eaten them for their viewpoint on it. Basically, it's a traditional donut with a pineapple jam filling, and for some reason they've put a marshmallow topping. I'm not quite sure how the marshmallow comes into it. Maybe it's just to get that lovely swirl effect on the top.
I was going to say, I'm guessing it's to get that whip effect, isn't it? It's supposed to, yeah.
It's incredibly sweet.
Well, I was going to say, I've read the description and it set my teeth on edge just reading the description.
And it's incredibly pricey.
How much?
$6.
Wow, for a donut.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
I know. If you think about it, for another $4, you can go to Krispy Kreme and get a whole box of 12.
This is very true. And you and I both know of an amazing donut shop very close to me, Michelle, where they won't cost that much.
Oh, they're peanut butter and jelly donut, Jane. They're £2, which is about what, $2? It'd be about $2.60, won't it?
Something like that, yeah. But they're amazing.
Oh, and they're gorgeous.
So if anybody's in the Derby, Nottingham and Leicester area, look for donuts. Very, very good. Come highly recommended.
Absolutely. But I suppose at the end of the day, when you're in a theme park, the snacks, you're going to have to pay top dollar because that's, every theme park across the world charges you this. You're a captive audience.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth, Michelle. Captive audience indeed.
Yeah, we all know how expensive popcorn is at a cinema.
True.
So
that's why I don't have popcorn at the cinema.
Well, true. I'm still of the type where I try and smuggle in a bag of sweets in my pocket.
Me too.
Next bit of news I've got is Typhoon Lagoon. They are having the H2O Glow Nights coming up starting in June.
Oh, right, okay. What's all this all about then?
Well, it's going to start on the 21st of June and it's an evening experience where you can go to the park and Buzz, Woody and Jessie are going to be throwing a beach party.
Okay.
And it's a hard ticket event.
That means extra money then, doesn't it?
It does. Now, if you're one of the types of people that haven't got water park access on your ticket, this might be a good option for you to go and spend the evening at Typhoon Lagoon.
True, yeah.
Now, I know when I'm going, because I buy the UK ticket, we get theme park and water park tickets included.
Yes.
So for me, paying an extra $55 plus tax isn't going to be worthwhile.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky one, isn't it? Because if you've already got it thrown in with your admission, what is there going to be offered that's going to make you part with another $55?
Yeah, but maybe if you just want an evening in the water park, then maybe this is something for you. I think, you can arrive on an evening, the lines are going to be shorter, the temperature's going to be cooler, it's not going to be as blistering as hot as it is at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, and I suppose, so looking at it from another way, if you're kind of wanting to experience a Disney, hard ticket event, like a Disney party event, and you can't maybe afford like the Halloween or something like that, perhaps this is like another little inroad to get a taster of what they offer, which might then sweeten you to part with money later on in the year to do something else, potentially.
Yeah. Now, obviously, the event hasn't started yet, so I can't really say much about what offerings there's going to be. There's your traditional DJ dance party on the beaches of the surf pool. And me and you both know that their Typhoon Lagoon sort of wave pool is phenomenal.
It is, yeah, definitely.
Unless you're wearing glasses. And then you tend to lose the glasses when the tsunami wave comes towards you. Because it's so powerful.
It is very powerful, yeah. That's why I don't go very far in, because I'm a bit of a scaredy cat when it comes to things like that.
Yeah. Obviously, you'll be able to meet the party hosts, Buzz, Woody and Jessie. And there's going to be an array of offerings for you to buy with regards to food and beverage.
Right, okay. It's not included then?
No.
Oh, right.
It's Disney we're talking about. They're after the money. Come on, let's
be
honest.
I forgot myself for a moment there.
And I suppose if you're going with a family, there's lots of things for you to do. However, what I do like about this is there's going to be a special area for the adults.
Oh, okay. Wonder what they classify adults as being, 21 over maybe, I suppose?
I would imagine so, because there's going to be a bar.
Right, they'll have to be then, won't it? Yeah.
It's called the Wharf area, and there's going to be entertainment, and of course you'll be able to buy alcoholic beverages. Now, this is where I'm going to be a major party pooper and just say, hang on a minute, alcohol and swimming, I'm sorry, do not marry.
I'm going to say, I've got visions of those, can you remember them at the swimming pools, those signs that would be up telling you what you should and should not do? And there was always one I seem to remember of like no drinks or something on there. So, yeah, I think you have to be a bit canny with that, really.
And can you imagine people having a couple of beverages, going on one of the water park attractions and having a protein spill?
Yeah, or just thinking that they can do stuff that they shouldn't really be doing.
Yeah, inhibitions go out of the window when you've had a couple of alcoholic beverages.
They do indeed, yeah. That could be a bit of a minefield, I think.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what happens on that one.
Well, yeah, definitely. Look forward to hearing some reviews about it.
Absolutely. Hopping over to Disneyland now,
Right.
and I'm putting my sulky head on. I know that I'm really sorry. I love Disney. I love Disney. Please do not think I'm having a moan constantly about Disney.
But,
Do you know what the little monkeys have gone and done?
well...
Released another blinking Starbucks mug.
Well, it's your own fault for
It's
collecting
not
them, Michelle.
funny. I'm not laughing.
But I can laugh because it doesn't affect me. And it winds you up, so I have a little sneaky laugh at your expense. Sorry, my darling.
It's not funny. The cup is absolutely stunning and it represents Adventureland. I was right all those months back saying that they're going to release one for each land. They're going to do.
Well, we're not surprised then, are we, really?
True. I just need to obviously get hold of one. It looks so cute. There's like the Jungle Cruise, there's the Tiki Room. It looks amazing.
Well, I'm sure that of all your many contacts out in Disneyland, Michelle, there'll be somebody out there who you can sweet talk into purchasing one for you.
I love Tommy Allison.
I wasn't going to mention Tommy by name, but I knew you would.
Well, Tommy very kindly at the weekend managed to get hold of the Sully popcorn bucket for me.
Oh, you know somebody who might want to wrestle that off you, don't you?
I know someone very well who would love to wrestle that off me, and she's not coming anywhere near my house.
We are talking about my daughter, of course. I did show her, because you very kindly sent me a photo, did you not?
I did.
And I did wait a few days before I showed it to Molly. And yeah, to say she was a little bit like, when she saw it would be an understatement.
So cute. So cute.
Although she liked the strap on it as much as she liked the Sully as well, to be fair.
Oh, well, she might be able to have the strap and I'll have the popcorn bucket. We'll come to some deal.
Yeah, just loan it out. Timeshare.
So while we're over in Disneyland,
Yes.
there's lots of special menus cropping up.
Oh, okay.
Left, right and centre to celebrate Paint the Night and Pixar Fest.
Of course, yes, it's all go over there, isn't it?
And one of the options that you could choose to do is to go to the Cathay Circle and have the Paint the Night special meal.
Right.
Now, you know I love Cathay. It is one of my must-go-to eateries.
Yes.
So let me tempt you with this menu.
Here we go.
Sautéed Delta asparagus, blue crab, lemon tarragon, gribiche. I'm presuming that's sort of like a fishy thingy going on.
I'm glad you know what it is, yeah.
It looked very delicious. Your second course was a Moroccan spiced tomato soup
All right, okay.
or a coriander grilled chicken and minted yoghurt.
Ooh.
Now then you had a choice of entrees. You had the fish of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, you had some vegetables, some cabbage, some avocado, and a mango side dish. Or, if you didn't want the fish, how about this? Creekstone prime New York steak with green bean garbanzo, bean tomatillo salsa. I don't know why they have to put strange things with it. Why can't they just do steak and chips?
I can say a nice bit of steak you can't go wrong with, can you? Just serve it with some nice veggies or a bit of salad and you're away, aren't you, really?
Yeah. But the dessert is so up my street.
Oh, crikey, what you got?
Velvet dark chocolate mousse with a hazelnut creme anglaise.
Oh, I'll fight you for it.
You won't stand a chance, love, I tell you. I've seen pictures. It looks absolutely stunning. The dessert has got lots of beautiful pieces of craft sugar work embedded into it, and coulis and sauces and some little side serving of raspberries. It looks phenomenal. Now to the downside.
Oh, I take this as the price tag.
Yeah, you do get viewing, a seat to view Paint the Night. And to be honest, people are waiting for hours for Paint the Night. It is such a massive show and it's an amazing show. People will be starting to queue 2, 3, 4 hours ahead of it. So to know you've got a seat is a pretty good thing to do. And a 4-course meal at Cathay. But obviously it's not free, Jane.
Oh, is it not?
No.
Oh, sports.
It comes with a $99 price tag plus tax and tip.
Wow. I suppose the question is how much would a meal cost you ordinarily?
True. You can go and get an entree from there for about $45 if you're looking at the pork chop. So I'm comparing that with the steak. You can have the fish based or a ravioli or something for around about the $30 price point.
Yeah.
So you're getting 4 courses. I think the price point for the meal plus the seating is about right for this restaurant.
I'm going to say that's what you've got to bear in mind, isn't it? Is the restaurant that you're actually eating in here.
Yeah. I've paid more than that for a 4-course meal at Carthay, so I don't think there's a problem with the price point for that place. It is a lot of money, and for me, I'd probably go somewhere a bit cheaper, get something to eat, and then I'd just suck it up and wait for the 3-4 hours on the sidewalk to get a good view.
Yeah, probably there with you as well, Michelle, to be fair.
Each to their own, because at the end of the day, if you're only there for 2 days, this is a way of getting more park time.
Very true.
Anyway, so let's move on. And earlier in the week, I posted a question on our Facebook page asking our wonderful collective of friends and listeners to come up with some ideas of some questions or challenges for us.
Oh, right, okay.
So let's start easy and get a little bit harder.
Okay.
The first one is from the lovely Jayne, and she says, is there an attraction or show experience that you could have at Walt Disney World or Disneyland Resort that you've never experienced and you would like to?
Oh, okay.
I'll throw that one to you, Jayne.
Well, I don't think there's an awful lot at Disney World, with the exception, obviously, of Pandora. That I haven't actually experienced whilst I've been there. So I would have to say, obviously, Animal Kingdom and the enhancements that have been going on over there, to go over and see what that's all about would be a priority on my list if I was going back to Disney World. And then I think for Disneyland, I am desperate to do Cars Land, because that was kind of in construction when I was there. So I never got to see anything of it. And when I say in construction, it was very early days of construction. So yeah, Cars Land would be a big must, because I keep seeing, and I have seen obviously over the years, loads of the photos, and I can't get over how real that place actually looks, even though I know it's all fabricated and it's just backdrops, etc. So yeah, Cars Land is a big must, and obviously to Disney World it would have to be going around all the Pandora stuff. And then it seems like Disney Springs. I've not even experienced Disney Springs in its full extent yet, have I? So I've got lots of different bits and bobs that I've not done, purely because of the length of time it's been between visits, whereas I'm guessing for you, Michelle, it's a little bit more tricky to pull out something, I would have thought.
Yeah, I must admit, because I think there's everything at Walt Disney World I've actually seen or done now. I think I'm going to go with Disneyland, and just basically I've not seen Paint the Night since it's come back.
Right, okay, yeah.
So that's going to be the big thing for me, is to see that at some point.
Yeah, forget about Paint the Night. And obviously, depending on whether they decide to bring it over to Disney World or not, or what they're going to do at Disney World, would be interesting to see. But I suppose I could make quite a long list. I could be here all night talking about what I'd like to see that I haven't seen, as I start to think about it and realise all the things that have evolved since my last visits. It could be quite a long list for me. It
could, love her. Next question is from the lovely Paul Tower-Nicky. He has said, what is a favourite Disney movie, but an obscure Disney movie? I.e., we can't mention Snow White or Star Wars.
Why did he pick those 2 movies?
I think he knows us.
Knows us a little bit too well.
He does.
It's kind of hard to think about. I've got a couple of ones, or a couple of 3 that came to mind, to be fair. 2 are linked, actually. That's The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under. I always have a bit of soft spot for those, and they're not necessarily a film I think that you instinctively think of or you can remember, but I do remember seeing particularly The Rescuers Down Under, discovering that I think not long after I got together with Simon, and I don't know whether we found it on video or I can't even remember, but I do remember watching the Down Under and thinking, oh, this is really sweet, and it caused me to go back and watch The Rescuers. Another little obscurish one would be Ichabod and Mr. Toad. So it's like the telling of Sleepy Hollow. That's one that comes out around about Halloween time for obvious reasons. But yeah, that's that harking back to a golden era of animation and the people that were behind, the creative forces that were behind the films back then, and the voice work, etc. So a couple of different extremes really, going back way back to like the 1950s for Ichabod and Mr. Toad, but or like the 70s for the Rescuers, and then into the 80s for the Rescuers Down Under.
Oh, interesting choices. I suppose my next one is going to be, Song of the South. I absolutely adore the film. I think it's a wonderful feat of animation mixed with live action. And I feel quite sad it doesn't get the love because of the connotations it has. And that's all I'm going to say about that before I move on. Another one, which strangely Paul did actually comment about, which Kieran mentioned in last week's Disney history segment, is Watcher in the Woods.
Yes,
I've got very vivid memories of going to the cinema and watching that. I must have only been about 11. And I went with my friend Lisa, and we sat on the front row. And at the time, there was a little sweet craze going on called Hundreds and Thousands. And they were literally tiny, tiny, tiny little sweets. And we'd got £1 of these from the sweet shop over the road. And there was this bit where this cat jumps out. Oh, my word. Well, most of the sweets ended up on the floor. That's all I'm saying, because we jumped a mile off our seats. It was so scary. Yeah, I love that film as well. There's so many Disney films that I can say, but that's kind of obscure.
Well, I was just thinking, as you were talking about that, one of your first film experiences going to the cinema. I mean, I have memories of going to see Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and that's going to be really interesting, because obviously there's rumours now about that being remade or rebooted or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that obviously, again, at the time, that combination of animation and live action and what have you, and where that's going to go now. So that's the other way to look at this as well, isn't it? Looking back at what's been, and then thinking forward as to what they're going to do with these existing licenses, and how they're going to, which other animations. We know we've got Mulan coming as a live action, and Lion King coming as a live action. So it's going to be interesting to see how many of these maybe more obscure movies might be an ideal choice to bring forward. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, moving now to a question from Mary Hartley Hoffman, and she's basically asking about my excessive spreadsheeting. So she basically says, we often hear on this podcast and the Avengers about my amazingly detailed spreadsheets, and she says that they're Disneyland veterans and they're going to be taking their first trip to Walt Disney World, and she basically wants to know about organising everything into a binder to make it digital so it's portable. How do you get started? What programs? Thanks for the lovely podcast.
Over to you, Michelle.
Yeah, I suppose for me, I use Excel because it's a product I'm familiar with. But I suppose it's whatever suits your needs. Like, I will not use the Excel spreadsheet per se when I go to the theme park, because as you say, it's got to be something that you can manipulate and use on the go. So I'll use Excel to do all my planning at home, and then what I'll probably do is transfer it over to notes on my iPhone and just have a daily guide of what I'm going to be hitting up. But my Disney experience is evolving now, is very interesting, because you can have so much information stored on that, because you can have your daily dining reservations, you have your fast passes on that. So thinking about that, I might not even take anything else portable with me, because I'm going to have my Disney experience with everything on. So, maybe use your Excel or your spreadsheet to get everything planned in, but on the go, use that.
Yeah, I must admit, I mean, it's something that I have done in the past, not as extensively as your good self, Michelle. But I mean, I do like, as part of the gearing up to going away aspect, being able to put everything down on paper, virtual paper, whatever you want to call it. So I know I've got everything that I need in one place. So, whether it's ticket numbers or flight times or whatever, all the way through to, right, so we've got these days, and roughly what we're going to do on each day and what we like to hit up, and then, figuring out when your ADRs are going to fit in, etc. But as I agree with you, with the evolution of My Disney, it's kind of, that's becoming your go-to app, isn't it? I would use Excel on the lead up to, rather than whilst I was actually in the park, so to speak.
But you can still take a binder with you for a hard copy, and sort of on the morning before you're leaving, or even the night before you go to bed, have a look at what the plan is for the next day. And you can also in that binder have, photocopies of passports, because I know from us coming from the UK, if you lose your passport, you're not going to have an easy job of it. You really do need to know your passport number, but by having a photocopy of your passport, your travel insurance, these are all documents that you really do need to have with you.
Yeah.
That you need a hard copy, because it's all well and good storing it on your phone, but what if you lose your phone?
Yeah, no, it's very true. And plus there's something, I don't know, you end up with a keepsake then as well, don't you, afterwards, if you've got that hard copy. And if you're going with a group, then at least you can all, maybe a bit romantic of me, but you can all look at it and the night before, like you said, and you can share that information as a group. And actually, I don't know, maybe we could actually talk to one another rather than being heads down looking at, screens. It might actually force people to communicate a little bit more.
You can't be doing that, love.
Well, I know it's a bit revolutionary, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Just going back, though, thinking about the My Disney experience, I have seen a rumour saying that the times of the buses in between the theme parks and hotel resorts, etc., is actually going to be added into the My Disney Experience app. So,
that'd be good.
Can you imagine how amazing that would be? You're about to leave the Magic Kingdom.
Is it worth going yet, or do we hang back a bit?
Yeah, because you can find out the bus times and things like that. So that's going to be fantastic if that comes ahead.
Yeah, and if people are using that, that might actually ease up, those massive queues you can get. Because if people are able to plan a little bit better and go, oh, yeah, I know there's not one now for, or whatever, it might make the whole bus experience a little bit more smooth.
Absolutely. So, but anyway, Mary, drop me a message via Facebook or whatever, and we'll chat. We'll go into more detail, my lovely, and I'll do whatever I can to make sure you guys have the best first trip to Walt Disney World you physically can.
Like I say, just be careful, because Michelle might actually plan it all for you when she gets started.
Can I?
I think you'd have to ask Mary, love.
Oh, can I just come with you? So our last question is from the lovely Katie Mason. We love Katie. And Katie has spoken to us before about her previous experiences on an Adventure by Disney trip that she took to California a few years ago. And she said, if you could go on an ABD trip, which one would you go and why? And also, if we were able to have a all-expensive trip paid to one of the Disney theme parks, which one would we be tempted to go to?
Right.
ABD's a tricky one though, isn't it, love?
Well, I must admit, I've not really looked into the ABDs. I'm aware of them, and I know there's been ones, incorporating Europe with Paris and going to Scotland and places like that, and Scandinavia and stuff. But yeah, I've not really looked into them, because although they've got a bit of a Disney twist, they're not what I would consider to be full-on Disney. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I suppose for me, it would either link it in with going to a Far East theme park I've not been to, or go to a part of the world where I personally would not feel confident visiting without the quality and customer service that you would get from Disney. So, for example, a place I would love to visit more of is Vietnam. And I do know that they have some amazing trips to Vietnam. They do trips to Ecuador, and these are all places I'd love to go to, but I would never go unless I was in a tour, because I'd just have that reassurance of being well looked after. Yeah,
being in the right places and not bearing off the path, so to speak, and getting into awkward situations, isn't it? If you've got somebody as your guide and they're constructing it all for you, you know you're going to be safe and seeing the best bits.
And I know it sounds like I'm being an awful snob, but I'd want to do it from the comfort of a nice hotel. I know this sounds awful, and I know I'm probably not seeing the best parts of these parts of the world, but I don't want to. I'm an old biddy now. I don't want to be roughing it in a youth hostel.
Well, no, there is that element, and I think we're kind of at a point in our lives when it's like I enjoy my home comforts. I've never been like a camping person anyway. It's like my whole attitude was, can I plug my straighteners in? No, well, I'm not going. It's I'm a girl of principle. So yeah, no, I am with you on that, and I'm a little bit. I'm not. I don't have any particular desire to see certain places or go. There's no strong places. I'd love to go down to Australia, admittedly, but other than that, I've got no big desire apart from getting to Disney parks in like Tokyo. Would be definitely Tokyo and Hong Kong are there on my list. But I agree with you. I think there are some more unusual places that you could venture to if that was your thing, and have the comfort knowing that you're doing it with Disney, that it would be all taken care of for you.
Yeah.
Very much it would be safe and secure, and there's no risk of, as I say, taking that wrong turn and getting into a neighbourhood you shouldn't be in.
Yeah, I'd never consider using ABD to go to Australia or to Italy or to Scotland, because these are things I think I'd feel confident about organising myself.
Yeah.
I just want that extra TLC of knowing if anything goes wrong, there's Disney there to hold my hand.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I think the theme park that's next on my to-do list is Tokyo.
Yeah, well, I'm with you there as well, Michelle. I mean, I have the benefit of Simon having been a few years ago, and I know what his reaction to it all was. So it's definitely on both of our to-do lists, I think.
It's right up there for me because I really want to go, and I'd fit in probably doing Hong Kong at the same time. And I think the thing that's making me not book it yet is because they're rebuilding the castle in Hong Kong and they're building so much more. So it's like, well, I'd rather have the full Hong Kong experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it would, those two locations where they are kind of lend themselves to happening on one trip, don't they, really?
I think I'd do China in a separate trip, but I know for Tokyo I'd want to explore the country more and find my way around Japan.
Oh, absolutely.
And then,
yeah,
you're looking at a 3-week trip for me to go and do that, and I'm killed to do it.
Yeah. Well, luckily, through Simon's old work contacts, I do actually have a contact out in Japan, and she does actually happen to work for Walt Disney as well. She's responsible for all the Zoom games. But so, Nana, if you're listening, I'll be hitting you up in a few years' time, love. We'll need a bit of a guided tour.
Well, I'm feeling quite giddy at the moment because I found a personal shopper who shops in Hong Kong. So this last week, she posted some Disney iWatch straps.
Oh, I saw those,
Yeah. Well, you can't get them in the US. You can't get them in the UK, probably to do with licensing. But they sell them at Hong Kong Disneyland. And it's like, what?
Yeah. I think that's something that I know Simon commented on when he did did Tokyo, was the fact that, and we have spoken to Nana actually a few times because Molly does collect the little Zooms, and the merchandise that you get in the Far East is often very particular, from what I understand, to the Far East. And I remember Simon saying when he was wanting to find something to bring back home for me, that it was quite difficult because they tend to have quite lots of smaller things, so lots of phone charms and key rings and that sort of thing. So they're not overtly big stuff. That makes sense. They tend to go smaller and more demure with their souvenir merchandise things. So yeah, that's another aspect of going to those parks, is that it's a whole different thing. The annoying thing is you can see these things come up online and go, but why can't we have that in the UK? Or why can't we have that? So just another reason for us to go out there, Michelle.
Absolutely. I'm just keeping all fingers crossed that when this iWatch strap arrives, I don't get stung by customs.
Well, that's the risk we have to take, isn't it?
Yeah, it completely is. And talking of merchandise, when we're recording this, it's the 18th of April. Well, what comes out every 18th of the month?
It's another Mickey.
It's another Mickey, and this one, oh my word, Jane, he is so cute. He's sort of like brown leather Mickey.
Yeah, no, I'm not overly in love with him, to be fair.
Oh.
Which I know.
You see, I love this one. This one I was determined to get. It was like everything about this is cute. It's his little cream face and the way he's smiling. I didn't like last month's, and I didn't like the golden one. Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah.
January's was okay. I wish I'd have got January's, but
Yeah,
I
I like
didn't.
Jan's. Yeah.
But I said to myself, I'm going to get this. And fate would have it that this morning, with me having the hospital appointment, I was at home at 8 o'clock. So I thought, oh, I'll just hop online and see if one just miraculously wants to jump into my shopping cart.
And did it?
It did.
Oh, how lucky was that for you?
I am ecstatic. I've been checking my email all day for a cancellation message from Disney saying, nope, you're not going to get it. But so far, it seems that the Mickey Mouse Memories soft toy, 4 of 12, will be on its way to me with a couple of other bits that I picked up in the Disney sale.
See, that's the fatal flaw with going online, Michelle. You're always going to buy more than you actually need.
Well, you know, when we met up last month, I was eyeing up that First Order Lady Star Wars Last Jedi t-shirt.
Yes.
The one that you bought.
Yes.
Well, I decided to buy it because it was on for £7.
Oh, we're going to have to coordinate outfits and everything now, aren't we?
And then they had the mini Rock the Dots ladies dress, and I thought, that's just so perfect for the cruise. And it was £7.
Wow, that's a good price.
Yeah, so it was like screaming at me, hello, buy me. If you don't buy me, you'll regret it. So I had to buy it.
This is why I don't go on websites, you see, because I would be, not in a good state financially afterwards.
I know, so I'm looking forward to having some Disney post over the next few days then.
That is the nice thing, actually, when those boxes arrive there, isn't it? I do like those boxes arriving.
You order a Zum Zum and a box the size of your house turns up.
Yeah, but then make good storage boxes afterwards, that's okay.
True. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap up this show and put a big old bow on it and say it's about done. As usual, if you want to contact us, we are the Disney Dream Girls. We can be emailed info@disneydreamgirls.com. We can be tweeted at DisDreamGirls. We can be liked on their Instagram, Disney_dream_girls. And you can also join along in the fun on our Facebook page, just by searching for Disney Dream Girls. But until our show next week, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.